What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chasing Hyperspace podcast. Man, it's kind of fucking weird introing my videos like that because I have like a third person kind of perspective on myself as I'm saying it. But anyways, right now it's like 11 p.m. and I decided to do like a late one tonight. Um, I put on a fancy fucking sweater. Um, I don't fucking know. I might not have a fucking girlfriend, but at least I have like these random ass motherfucking people commenting on my shit. Like, who the fuck are you? it's crazy, but I love that shit. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. I'm trying to just focus on my fucking volume more. Yeah, but I don't have a mic yet. I'm gonna be trying to get a mic basically as soon as fucking possible. Um, but yeah, um, the pat e- since that last video, I got like weed. I got some fucking weed. Um, and I ended up vaping it, and I'm gonna turn it into edibles. So basically, it looks very like this is cooked weed. Like I don't know. Um, it's called decarbed, and so I can make edibles out of that. I basically heat it up with butter, and I strain the butter out, or I strain the plant material out of. Uh, I strain the plant material from like the butter, I guess, but there's still some THC and active material or active compounds that um, I guess bind to the fat in the butter or whatever, and I guess butter is really effective. Coconut. I don't really think I've done it with butter yet, but I've done it with coconut oil, and I thought coconut oil was pretty effective, but I honestly thought it was kind of gross. Um, Hopefully with butter it's better. I think it would be better because I actually I feel like I've grown to like really love butter. But yeah, I feel like my appetite for like foods and stuff is just sometimes very fucking different from everyone else's. It seems like I don't know if like it's so crazy to say, but like eating fat can be enjoyable. Like I've put like butter in my fucking I have like this MCT collagen powder, and I'll put fucking butter in it, and I even put like honey in it too. Even though it's like a keto like chocolate powder thing, I basically make it like hot chocolate. Um, I still like to throw honey in it. I don't know. And yeah, and then I would even throw butter in it. And the reasoning behind doing that kind of shit is because like just how I'm getting my calories, I guess. And those seem like very clean sources for calories. Like honey as a carbohydrate isn't like extremely inflammatory feeling, I guess. I don't know. I think honey is okay. Um, it Yeah. I can honestly just go on a whole fucking spiel about like food. Honestly, this is like my podcast, so like, why the fuck not? Like, um, it's yeah. If people don't want to watch, uh, or hear what I have to say, then they're more than welcome to fucking not watch my shit. So, yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, This is also kind of like a video diary almost. Like, I've done things where it's like I'll just record myself talk sometimes, and I would do that on my phone. I had like a selfie stick, and I would just walk around and like record myself talk, and I think I uploaded some of them, but ended up taking them down. But I was doing almost like a video diary kind of thing. So if anyone's like thinking about like podcasting and shit like that, like honestly, I recommend just like hearing yourself talk a little bit, or at least like recording yourself talk. It's kind of crazy, but I don't know. I feel like I it has helped me to kind of like gain another perspective on myself in a way. But the thing is I actually don't like watching my videos. I have yet to really watch a lot of my own shit, but I don't know. It's like I feel like I gain a perspective on myself, I guess. Like I've sometimes realized that I'm a very slow talker, so yeah. And then there's times where it's like when a person is journaling or whatever, like uh getting like really real and personal, sometimes like you don't want to talk about specific people's names and shit like that, but it's like you're trying to like talk, it's like you're trying to think, or I'm trying to think through um, things without mentioning specific people, I guess. So there's that element too, like it's just like I don't know, I've done some kind of like uh I've honestly like recorded myself talking about like really specific, almost like specific shit, and like uh dude, I fucking like cried while uh just like fucking walking around recording myself with a selfie stick, which is crazy, but I don't know. Honestly, just like walking around, taking time for for myself to just like think is something that is I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't. It's like I need. It's like I'm surprised by how much time I feel like I need in order to like process things. Like sometimes it takes a long. It's a long sometimes it's like it feels like an endless kind of journey to just kind of fucking to process thoughts and to think and to I don't know. Thinking is just I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing thinking. I feel like sometimes that there's almost a state beyond thinking or some shit like that, or like a headspace or something that is free of thinking. And I've had some of those experiences. I and it feels like there. If you look up a picture of like a Buddha or like a smiling Buddha, that's kind of what it. That's almost what I think like enlightened figure. Like that's what it looks like. It's happiness or something like that. It's just like it's almost like a beacon or something. Like you see that expression and it's like uh it has a way of being like a beacon of sorts. Like I don't know. It's not like I've been really struck by the idea of like a Buddha, but it's just there's something about like just like happiness or just like spreading happiness or something like that. And I think some uh, some forms of happiness are also without thoughts, and I don't know. I feel like that's definitely possible. Um, it's weird because it's like I'm talking about something that is beyond language, so I'm not going. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's experiences that are in the realm of experience, I suppose, that are beyond language. And I think I'm trying to like think exactly to when I was think when I became like free of thoughts for a while after having a certain thought, And I was really thinking about the idea of reciprocity, like treating others how I would like to be treated, and and it was like this love that was so fucking crazy, whereas like they didn't even need to think um, in order to be loved. Like they're already loved, and somehow I felt like I connected to that somehow, and or like it somehow like came back to me, and I felt like didn't. I was so like it's like I don't know, just being like loved uh unconditionally or something like that, and I feel like um the kind of treatment that I put out into the web or whatever of life or onto like into the world, it I really think it has a way of like coming back to me. I think there's kind of like a almost like a bargain or some shit. It's like res I've had this thought where it's like I feel like respect is really um it can choose if some people have an extreme sensitivity to disrespect, and it's like it can really like choose a person's life whether or not someone is respected or feels respected or not, and is we live in a crazy fucking world, and so um I've thought I don't know, I've thought about some situations like that. Right now it's like it's November, so what I'm bringing up is like from a while ago, but like with the George Floyd situation, I thought a lot about the idea of respect, because I've also learned about situations in like the Soviet Union where it's like the respect factor or whatever, or the I don't know, just like when a person gets like triggered or like offended in a way to like so I know someone in person who is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and like and I think a black belt in Muay Thai as well or some shit. And I don't know any of that fucking shit. I don't know how to fucking fight. So I'm just like, how can I make sure that you do not fucking kick my ass? Like I felt that that question, like it really had to be like addressed, and he ended up saying that he actually doesn't like to fight, and we and that he doesn't like bullies and all that shit, and it's like yeah, I'm right there with you. I guess. But um yeah, I feel like that respect, I feel like understanding people's potential in a way and respecting it. I don't know. Just kind of being aware of like danger and shit like that. Um and I gotta drink some fucking water. But with the idea of reciprocity, sometimes the way I talk is a way um, that I wish, or that I feel like I talk in such a way that it was like, it's like, I'll say shit to people, but I'll try to say it to them in such a way to where it's like, they don't take it personally, like, or at least that's the goal, um, like, I really fucking think Joey Diaz is like his sense of comedy at times is just so pure. Like he'll just say random shit sometimes, like we're here and we're queer. Like he'll say that shit, and it's like that's fucking awesome. Like, and I don't know, he's not fucking queer. He's not really queer, I don't think. But like the fact that he would say that shit, uh, I don't know. It's like it's kind of like pushing boundaries, but it's like um in like almost like a family kind of way. I don't know, or like in yeah, like I'm not queer, so I'm not like offended by that stuff. But it's like um, I think there's certain uh, forms of speech that can like transcend boundaries or something like that. I don't know. So I've thought about like what I want to do and like kind of the value of like doing uh the value of like discipline, and I think me and Corey talked about it a little bit in the last podcast. We're talking about like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know how to fucking say his name. Let me. I have to look up how to fucking say his name. Arnold. Arnold. Sorry, like I'm like my own Jamie here. Like Joe Rogan has a fucking Jamie. I don't have a fucking Jamie. Okay, so I have to pull it up. I have to pull shit up like on my own. So do they have like a pronunciation or how to pronounce pronunciation? Okay, I'll turn the volume on it just a little bit. I don't know if you guys will really be able to hear it, but I have to just fucking confirm how to say this shit. Okay, let's see if it's legit. Okay, I'm looking it up on YouTube right now, so. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh my goodness. It sounds like she's saying that N word. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what I was afraid of, was saying the N word. Honestly, I feel like people have given me like a fucking pass to say that shit, but I have yet to like. I've said the N word like in my own like um to myself, or like not to, I don't know, like I've said it like in my mind, and uh fucking like even rapping to myself or some shit. Sometimes I'll just say it, and or like if a buddy is like cool, I don't know, we'll just say shit to each other that's edgy. um I feel like people have given me a pass, but I fucking haven't taken up on it. When it honestly, when it's like around black people, which is kind of weird. I don't know. It's like hiding it from them. I just, it's like that respect thing. I feel like it's like some people are sensitive to disrespect, so it's like I try to be careful with the shit I say sometimes. Um, with the idea of like being careful, it's it's like just be careful. Like what the fuck? Okay, just be careful. Um, agreeing to I. It's like if there's anything you should do, it's to be careful. Like I don't know. Um, okay, so there's like a dynamic, I feel like, when it comes to like um I guess like taking risks, or I guess it's the idea of like risk to reward, or risk, um yeah, risk to reward. And that's something I'm still trying to figure out. um and honestly, something I'm trying to figure out, it's like sometimes I think I can just like crack the code to the matrix or some shit by like like sometimes by some of the shit I try to say. And like when I try to say that shit, it doesn't really uh I don't know, I guess just like being awkward. Like I feel like I don't want to be awkward. And it's like I don't even know what the fuck, like, what awkward is. I guess like it's a feeling, it's an uncomfortable feeling. And I guess it can be kind of like a feeling of like I'm not supposed to be here or something like that. So I'm gonna try to avoid that with this podcast, I guess. With if I'm supposed to like make a video, I want to make a video. If I'm not supposed to, I don't think I should. Um, I think there's gonna be times, honestly, where I feel like where I don't think I should make a video, and I don't know why, but there's just times I don't fucking make videos. So honestly, I think it's kind of like a self-conscious thing, and an accountability thing too, where it's like sometimes I feel like in order to make a video, I have to have something worth sharing. And yeah, sometimes I feel like I don't really know what's worth sharing or some shit, or like uh, how to share effectively or some shit like that. I don't know. Uh, so I'm gonna crack open my fucking book because I also journal. Um, honestly, like there's some shit that it's like I might rap to myself about. Basically, I've been just trying to, I don't know, sometimes like I've been like uh I'll like beatbox to myself sometimes. Like I'm usually one to beatbox in the shower rather than sing in the shower, and like I've just kind of like casually beatbox. But there's been times where like I really, try to like uh I don't know, like make new sounds or something like that, make a beat essentially. And so like feel like I've done that for like years, but it's like um now I want to get into like basically like words, like rhyming and shit like that. I don't know, rapping. It's kind of like a, even like singing and shit. Like it's just kind of like exploring the idea of words, and kind of like a rhythmical kind of melody, like with har- trying to think of like words in a way that's harmonious or some shit like that. Um, but sometimes the things I think about are harmonious in such a way that it's like funny. I feel like, um, and it's an explicit. Like honestly, there's some fucking explicit rappers out there, and I haven't always been one to fucking love explicit rap. I mean, I loved like Tyler the Creator and Earl Sweatshirt. I still love some of their music. I just don't. I really haven't listened to much of anything from Odd Future in a while. But I used to be really big into them. But like explicit shit, I don't know. There's like dirty. There's like music that's fucking dirty and fucking filthy, dude. Like old dirty bastard and shit like that. Like I don't know. And yeah, Danny Brown is like he's like that really bad. Like he's like that really fucking bad. Like oh my god, just just look up some Danny Brown lyrics and it'll just change your fucking life. Okay, um, it's so I don't know. It's it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. Um um yeah. So honestly, um. So ever since, damn, I feel like I've been talking about this 30 miler for like too long and I need to do another run. So I can talk about that run. But yeah, ever since this 30 miler that I ran recently, or like ran, walked, I just fucking did. Um, this was probably like weeks ago. But when I did that, I I don't know. I just thought very deeply about this this fucking like exchange or something. It's like this exchange for suffering, or like this exchange to do with suffering or some shit. It was kind of like see, I didn't figure it out completely, but it's like was it was reaffirming some shit that I was thinking, I guess, when it comes to I feel like there's a dynamic that's real as fucking in this life, but it's like between what? And I guess what I mean by that is, I guess like how people can make a living. And I talked about this previously a little bit too. Like, um, so honestly, I'm fucking stoned as shit right now. I'm just saying. Um, But yeah, like how people can make a living, I feel like there's a lot of different ways, and there's some livings that require balls, and then there's some livings that require heart, and I guess a living like I've been trying to think of like a living that is like everything or something like that. Um, okay, so some people will make a living like UFC fighting, making music, making podcasts, writing books, like speaking to people, and some people make a living with like really hard work, and some people make a living like working, and I kind of feel like this thing where man, 1 second, I'm gonna drink some fucking water. So, like, some people make a living like ultra marathon running. Uh, there's just like sports, athletics, and shit like that. I don't know. There's like it's like this fucking it's like a sacrifice or some shit. And I guess I just been trying to think about like at least in these videos when I talk, I feel like I'm trying to think of the idea of like sacrifice. And it's a crazy as fuck idea because it's like there's different ideas of sacrifice, and there's kind of been like a evolution of the idea of it. I think the unconscious form of or the idea of sacrifice used to basically be like blood sacrifices, like blood infertility, and that's not what I'm talking about. Or like it's like what I'm talking about is or what I'm not talking about is like how like human sacrifices where it's like sacrificing something external like animals, other people. Um, it's kind of hard to draw the line to where it's like to what I mean by sacrifice of like the self or something like that, or like a ego kind of I don't know, like a ego death maybe, or something like that, or like a surrender, or like a total like give, like just as like a giving of like everything. And it's like what is really the uh, trying to figure out how I can like give everything or more than everything or something like that, um, in such a way that is so it's I guess like it's what I guess I'm thinking about is like I feel like there's a way of life or of thinking sometimes, or I feel like in evolution there's kind of like this death and rebirth cycle where it's like ideas can die and new ideas can be born, like the old dies and new is born kind of thing. um, and it's like thinking about that new thinking about that gener the generative life-giving, um, fulfilling and meaningful, um, um, I've had experiences where it's like I feel like it's extremely hard to face experience. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's basically like facing fears. Like that's facing experience. I feel like, and there's been experiences I feel like that have been very hard for me to face, and it's like, um, I guess I've tried to think about my life in such a way where it's like, I don't know. I guess it's like sometimes you gotta do something that you don't want to do. And it's like, how can I want to do the things that I don't want to do? Which is kind of fucked up. But it's like there's kind of like this, I have to make like these, it's basically like making change, I suppose. Like, if, um, or it's basically like a, not a bargain, but like an exchange, or like I don't fucking know. I gotta look up a thesaurus of this shit. I forget what the fuck I was about to just look up. I'll think about it in a second. Um, oh yeah, like making a change, but it's like a, oh yeah, it's like an exchange. Exchange. exchange thesaurus. That's what I just looked up. I've been using DuckDuckGo, by the way, for like my search engine for most of the time, or at least on my laptop. That's what I use. Um, so there's, it's like a transaction. There's like a transaction or like a interchange, maybe. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah. So it's like a transfer or a yeah, it's like a transaction. So there's like this transaction with life or some shit that I've been trying to figure out. Okay, so the transaction. What the fuck is it? Um, I think I kind of figured it out in part when I came up with the goal to run a 100-mile ultra marathon. When I came up with that goal, it was like I was really like, what am I willing to suffer for? Like, what is thinking about like what I want to suffer for or something like that, or what would I suffer for, or yeah, like what am I willing to suffer for such, suffering for running 100 miles. For some reason, when I thought about it, it was just totally fucking like lit up the way that I thought about it. Like it just felt like like my my emotions just like went like so happy when I was thinking about it. I was like so grateful for it too. Like I was so thankful for it. Like thank you. Like um so it's weird because I suppose there's like an emotion when it comes to formulating like a really good goal or like there's like a feeling when it's like a really good transaction, I suppose. Like um, it's kind of like I have yet to win the lottery, but it's like something that's kind of like that. Um, I feel like meaning sometimes can have almost like that lottery kind of effect in a way where it's like it feels um, like I have a purpose or like I'm going to like there's something I have to do or uh, or that I get to do something. Um, if I like, I honestly could probably just sit here and fucking meditate, probably because I'm tired and I'm stoned. But like, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna go until I feel like not going anymore. I guess with this video, might be an hour. I don't know. Honestly, sometimes I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna end the video here, and then I'm like, oh shit, no, I'm not. So sometimes I do that shit. I try not to, but it happens. Um, so So yeah, it's like, what would I really want? And that it's so fucking tricky. It's tricky as fuck to think about. Um, because for one, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So it's like, so this is gonna be okay. So if you ever have like an ideal of yourself, or an ideal, I suppose, as like just like a general kind of ideal that you put out into, that you kind of um, project, or you is projected from other people, or like projected on other people, or projected from other people, like a kind of, it's like a symbol or something, an ideal characterized, I think the ideal characterized is essentially like, uh, as far as I know, like Jesus and Buddha and things like that. I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Okay, I'm back. Um, but yeah, it's like that ideal, I suppose, is like, honestly, I think that ideal is understanding. Um, like it's like understanding the thing that's most difficult to understand, or something like that. Um, and I think understanding is a form of surrender. I've honestly had experiences where it felt like I was just giving, like I'm just like, I don't know, like it was like a giving in a way where it's like I wanted more of this shit, like I like, like I wanted more. But I guess like what I mean is like, I had like a specific experience. Like one time, uh, I was washing dishes at an old job of mine, and it was the type of shit where it's like scrubbing pans with a fucking with like a scouring pad, uh, with a scouring pad, and it's like these pans are so fucked up. Like they're so bad. They're so fucked. They're they're the worst fucking pans to clean. Like I don't know if they're like titanium or aluminum or some shit, but they are not non-stick. They stick. These are sticky pans, and it's just like burnt, sticky fucking pans, and it's just like having to wash like 20, 30 fucking just like pans for like fucking uh basically there's a sink, and it's like that is for the washing pans for the bulk of the day, like for for I think I'd work like a 5 or 6 hour days there, because I was going to school too, and so I'd work like 5 or 6 hours. But uh I had the goal where it's like I wanted to be the best dishwasher to have worked there, or something like that. And I think I may have actually reached that goal towards the end of it. Um, but I don't know. It's hard to. I feel like I honestly like Corey. He fucking worked there too, and he was like probably just as fucking good. Like I think he is pretty fucking good too. Honestly, it's probably a better dishwasher, but honestly, I think I feel like I have my fucking moments. Okay. Um, But like what I'm talking about is those moments where it's like, I feel it's hard to kind of explain that thing where it's like such a fucking like, uh, I feel like I have like a fucking vortex, like of just like I'm I feel like I'm a vortex of like energy or something, like in a good way, where it's like where it's like a Goku or some shit, and he has like the fucking spirit ball, and he's like getting all the fucking energy from everything. Like that's kind of how it makes me feel. Is it just it's just like sometimes you fucking like in a way I feel like pain can kind of like make me work harder sometimes. Um, Not like injury pain, but like it's like pain in the like sometimes like emotional pain or some shit. Or like it's like this fucking resistance where it's like washing the pans is like if I really like scrub at it, I might have gotten like my the skin would start to kind of it's like the top layers of skin would just start to like the top layers of skin would just kind of get like fucked and just kind of leave my fingers feeling raw and like bloody sometimes where it's like scrubbing with a scouring pad can create friction on my fucking like hand in different places and it can like even start to like get bloody sometimes and like that's just kind of how it was like I would use a glove at times but it's like I didn't always have the option. I would try to like stack up with a shitload of gloves. Like I would put on like fucking four or some shit, like two or three, and then I would scrub the pans with that. But sometimes, sometimes it's just like I don't know. I had moments where it was just like I knew it was gonna kind of fuck up my hands a little bit, or that it was going to aggravate like the skin more. But it was just like I just like accepted it or something like that. And I think there's kind of some mental toughness with that. I like I don't know what the fuck it is, but like I had a buddy who was telling me about how he would like punch the like not punch the concrete, but he'd just kind of like tap his knuckles on like the concrete until like his fingers were bloody and shit. And that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. But I feel like I kind of get it. It's kind of like the idea of like loving suffering or some shit like that. And it's like I think it's like wanting it or something. It's okay. So Goggins, when David Goggins talks about um certain kind of tests of suffering, I suppose, like cold water, uh, running, uh, um, I guess like tiredness, just like fatigue, and just like poopy pants mentality type shit. Um, uh, like Goggins talked about the cold water and there's someone who's like shivering because he was in the military or whatever and he went through water evolution so he just kind of was exposed to cold water and shit like that and it's like someone was like Goggins like why are you not shivering like or some shit like that and his response or from what I know of his response it was something along the lines of like um because when other it's like he was saying how other people they're thinking about uh when it will end like when the suffering will end I guess or like when uh when they can get out or like when they can quit or like it's kind of like this thing where it's like when other people feel like giving up or something like that. Like other people are giving up, they want to quit, they want to leave the water. They're like, they don't like that shit. Essentially, like they just hate that shit. Actually, to where like Goggins, I feel like he loves that shit or something. Where he's like saying how it's like he hopes he wishes the water was colder, or he wishes that um there's something he said is like, you know who the fuck you are when the mileage is unknown, or like when the it's kind of like yeah, he had something else he said along with it, but it's basically like uh it's when the mileage is unknown that you find out who the fuck you are. And I don't know, I kind of get it in a way, just a little bit. I think what it is it's kind of like you do it one, or like you do it and you do it till it's done. Like I think that's what it is. Um, I don't know. It's kind of daunting to think about, but it's like there's someone like Courtney Dauwalter who will run like 280 some miles or something, and it's like they're running for days, for fucking days, in the mountains, in altitude, at nighttime in the cold, probably in the rain. Fucking, they're out there for days, suffering, running, just grinding, hammering, fucking not giving up. Fuck, I don't know. Um, like getting after it. I'm honestly like fucking around with this, so sorry if that's making noise. I'm gonna throw that over there. Um, but there's some fucking shit to that, dude. I don't know what the fuck it is, but there's something really epic, and it's not fucking insanity. She does that for a reason. She has a fucking reason why she's doing that shit. I think Cameron Haynes has like, he doesn't just go, I don't know. I don't think people just go out there and do shit for the sake of like getting hurt. Um, yeah, like I don't know. It's like they're really pushing the limits or something. I feel like they kind of, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's probably some sort of like disassociative kind of fucking like alien kind of higher power communication thing, or like this fucking relay with like a higher power or some shit, or like this just burning of fucking like passion. It's like a burning passion, like a passion. It's like they have this passion and it's just carrying, it's in a way, I think it kind of carries them through it in a way. It's like um their why, I suppose. In a way, I think that's kind of what ultramarathoning is kind of about, and just like a lot of shit is about it too. And that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like ultramarathoning is about it, I suppose, or like even the UFC is about it, and I think just like a lot of different forms of living are about it, and I don't know what it really fucking is or means. Like that passion, I suppose. Like sometimes I have moments where it feels like I'm like extremely fucking passionate, and then there's times where it's like I don't have the fucking slightest clue where like that passion is. So it's, I don't know. um I think that's probably a struggle a lot of people go through. um Honestly, I've been drinking a lot of fucking water. I've been drinking a lot of fucking water. um Holy shit, this video is 55 minutes long. I thought it was like 30 minutes long. Um, but yeah, like figuring out like what that passion is, I suppose. I think that it's like that long burn kind of, or like it's like a burning kind of endurance or some shit like that. I want to say in part it is also like a burning, or like a it's like an immunity or something. Um, Like I know an ultramarathon ultramarathon runner in person. I talked with them a little bit. Encountered them while I was working, and I asked them. I saw them recently, and I asked them like, um, I'm like, hey, you're that ultramarathon runner, and they're like, they're like, yeah, and like I asked them like, or I'm like, that's a sacrifice. Like what? Like why, or I don't know, like I just asked them like I'm like, that's a sacrifice. And their response was like, it's not really too bad on the feet, it's about the mind or some shit like that. They're like, it's the mind. They're just like, the mind, okay, like, and that's what Goggins said too. Like Goggins says it's about the mind too, and I think it's, in a way, I do think it's about the mind as well. It's like a kind of like, I think the mind can accept some crazy fucking demands, I suppose, or like the body can subordinate to the mind, uh, in such a way sometimes, um, or like with the idea of like consciousness. I think there's something about consciousness, and it's a it's there's like a conscious role, honestly, or like a choice, or like a choosing, I want to say, of what we do in this life. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck the like what would be best for me. And I think everyone is probably, I honestly think everyone's probably going to be like extremely like individualized or something. I think a lot of people can kind of just like, in a way, just kind of suffer through. In a way, there's like a thing where it's like they'll suffer through it, and they just will do that. They'll just do it. And honestly, for me, it's like, I feel like there's still like some. It's weird, but it's like I feel like there's still some suffering still, even if I were to do it. I guess like I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like going on a ride that you really don't want to go on or something. Like someone might really want to show you their fucking like sports car or some shit, to where you could just be like, nah, I don't. I fucking hate cars. Like, I don't like riding in cars. They're dangerous. Like, I don't want to fucking die. That kind of shit. And it's like, that kind of person that doesn't want to do that, uh, I don't know, just like shoving them in that car and like, I don't know, it just isn't right, you know? They have to kind of do it at their own at their own choosing, I guess. And I think that's kind of how it is with facing fears. It's like a person has to really choose to face certain fears, I suppose. Um, and when I made an attempt to run 100 miler, but I only ran like 30 or so. But there's I'm still just thinking about this shit where it's like I stopped that run because I stopped it because I felt like I could continue with it, but it would be with something else. Um, like I felt like I was trying to unlock like the thing where it's like a potential for anything rather than just running ultra marathons or something like that. It was like it was like having the free choice or something to make a living doing whatever I wanted or some shit like that, or like do not doing whatever I wanted, but like uh yeah, in a way it was like what I wanted, I suppose, like or but the thing was like it was crazy because I felt like I didn't really want it felt like it was the craziest fucking thing because it felt like I could have had any it felt like I could have if maybe it's like I can have anything I want, but it's like I don't want that. It's weird. Or it's like having all the riches or something and just being like I don't really care. Like that's kind of how it felt. I don't know how to explain it, but it was just like um I didn't really know what precisely was I want to say like perfect, and probably I don't know if anything is fucking perfect, but it was just like I felt like it's almost like I wanted to just figure out my own thing, I guess. Yeah. So it was like it was almost like I had all these different offers for all these different things to do, and it was just like it's so fucking weird, but it's like I guess what it's like, I suppose, is like it's it's like almost extremely picky or some shit. It's fucking weird. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's like imagine uh there's like a race or something. There's like a race and there's just all these different like vehicles or yeah, all these different I guess like objects or objectives or something. Um, different kinds of objectives, or I don't know what the fuck it is. It's like some people make a living with like boxing, with sports, with fucking like gaming, with honestly that's so fucking crazy, but like Bella uh is it how the fuck you say her last name? Delphine? Or some shit, Bella Delphine? And I gotta get their name right. But it's like uh Delphine? I don't know what the fuck they're I don't know how the fuck to say their last name, but that girl I was making a living like selling or fucking bath water. Like what the fuck? I don't know how to fucking explain it, but there's just this crazy fucking thing where it's like people can make a living doing the craziest fucking shit, and it's like what the fuck would I want to do? And I don't know yet. Um, it's kind of I feel kind of like I mean I'm doing this right now. And I go to work, so at least I have that going for me. But it's like, um, I think I don't know. I just been kind of doing my own thing. Like, it's not one thing. I honestly I just been mostly working, but I do have creative ideas of like lyrics of like beatboxing of like um just music ideas, of journaling ideas, of kind of like some goals and stuff. But it's like, I guess I've had some really fucking grandiose ideas in my life. Like, honestly, one of them was like, I wanted to cure tyranny, and another one was like, I wanted to cure obesity, and I felt like obesity was an aspect of tyranny, or like is like a product of tyranny. And then another grandiose idea I had was like I want to solve reciprocity, and I don't know if I can ever solve reciprocity because it's like um sorry if that was loud, but I don't know if I can ever solve reciprocity because I feel like it's something that could always be better. Like just treat the cycle of treatment or something like that, like how I treat others and how it and what comes back to me. And oh shit, sorry I hit the camera. But so honestly, like the idea of like marriage and shit like that, like the idea of kind of like never giving up on someone, or having like a permanent kind of a permanent relationship to someone, in a way is okay. So in the Bible, I learned that it says something along the lines of like a man who loves his wife loves himself, and I think there's some honest truth behind that shit. And it's like to be honest, there's like one person right now that I feel like I love, and or that I feel like they're the person that I have to love or something like that. Um, that like it's like my so um Ramdas talks about or his name is also Richard Alpert, I believe. Richard Alpert, aka Ramdas. He's talked about like loving everybody, and like I think that's basically just what I have to do is like I have to figure out how to like I have to figure out how to love everybody, and that's in a way I feel like I have to be like committed to everybody, or in a way, or like I don't know, I have to understand everybody or something like that. um I feel like I just have to be like a understanding awareness or something. um I mean, wouldn't that just be simple? Like I if I were to just make the best decisions based off of like what I understand, and if my understanding were uh, understanding the most valuable things to be understood, or uh, out of everything that is out of everything that could be known, um, like if I just could understand everything, um, I don't know, that's basically where the fuck I think that's kind of like the goal in a way, in a way. Not to know everything, but to understand everything. Basically, to like understand the all-knowing, or aka the infinite unknown, uh, or everything that could be known, or some shit like that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna think about that shit. But thank you guys for tuning into this shit. It, like comment on this shit and I will shout you the fuck out, okay? Um, if you have the patience for this shit, thank you so much. I don't know. Um, I hope you guys have a super blessed fucking existence forever, and uh, like God be with you and shit. Um, uh, if it's morning time, good morning. If it's nighttime, good night. Uh, Deuces to everybody. Bye, everybody.